Here, this is a lot of potato. And this is what if Naruto was a dragon god? Part 7. The end of this what if series. I have an idea how to end it, but yeah. Now, we go into the tuning exam. Oh, before I do that, go subscribe to my sensei, iconic photos, Obito Waters. The link will be in the description. Same with my second channel. I was about to say third channel, but I don't even have one. Only second channel. Other than that, let me begin into the tuning exam, the final tuning exam. Part 7. So yeah, this is where we go into Naruto. Right now, going to the tuning exam, walking straight towards it. His hair is right now rainbowish. He's actually showing his true colors now, literally. Of course, this is where Naruto showed his true colors, his hair mostly, and he has 50% down of the Dragon God. He's actually mastered 50% because he has trained with the original Dragon God. Also, let me turn off the fucking cooler here because it's fucking cold as hell. And yeah. Also, it does distract me in the background. But other than that, no, let me go back into the water. Naruto has mastered that up. And of course, he hasn't mastered like 75 or 100 yet. He just had mastered 50%. He's able to use more elements now. His elements that he used to use were Crimson Red Flames, Golden Flames, Silver Wind, and Dark Water. Dark Sea Water. Now, Naruto can use other colors. Other colors of elements. He can use actually space and time somewhat, but it's kind of limit to him. Kind of, he can't really use it for much longer than only like 10 seconds. And, 10 seconds in space or time. But of course, he can also see into the future a little bit for 10 seconds. Of course, where Naruto actually also, not 10 seconds, 50 seconds more. And stuff. Of course, this is where, Naruto is also able to use, can summon other types of dragons. Celestial dragons he can summon out. He can summon out water, fire, earth, lightning, any type of dragon because he has actually met them through the Dragon God. Also, he has, kind of talked to Kurama a little bit. Kurama actually also did meet the Dragon God. He is terrified of the Dragon God. How big it is. It's bigger than the Jubi. He's scared. Of course, we go into, the final tuning exam. This is where, Naruto, he shows up into the final tuning exam not wearing orange, okay? He didn't really wear orange the entire time. He was wearing, he's finally wearing something different. He's wearing this, gold and silver coat. Well, mostly, he's wearing a pure white shirt. Of course, he's wearing white pants. It kind of looks like a kimono, okay? And of course, he has a coat on, but the coat is like gold and silver. Because he can create it out of his own, his own. He can actually create things out of thin air. He just has to think of whatever he's thinking. Of course, he has like a hat on his head to kind of cover up his colorful hair and also his eyes. You know that hat that what's it called, straw hat, not like Luffy's, but like a Chinese hat that they use to kind of like cover up so sun won't hurt them and all that when they're working in rice and all that. That's the best way I can explain it. So yeah, those like pointy kind of straw hats, okay? That's kind of round and all that. Well, I mean, the hat is round, but I should shut the fuck up. I'm probably confusing the fuck out of you. Of course, Naruto has that, and when Naruto goes to the final tuning exams, the first match is Sasuke versus Gara. Sasuke in original canon is still not there, so of course they go on to the next match. Naruto versus Neji. Now this is where, Shikamaru is also looking completely different. Shikamaru is actually, just wearing purely black. He was wearing green before, now he's just wearing purely black. Kind of just like having a black, not black shirt, a black and green shirt, wearing also a black coat that kind of looks like a scientist coat, but it's like very long. Of course, that's what it kind of looks like. Of course, this is where he's also wearing black, sleeveless, black, fingerless gloves. He's also wearing, black pants and he's wearing black slash dark green sandals. This is where, well, Naruto, well, not Naruto, Shikamaru is wearing that. His hair is still black, which, yeah, but he has like a different aura around him. A different type of aura than Naruto noticed. That's where Naruto smirked to him, just smiling. This is where Kurosaki kind of runs up to Shikamaru saying, "Whoa, Shikamaru, you got taller there a little bit. Also, why do you look so much different the last time I saw you?" Shikamaru says, "I guess I just have to change up some styles, I guess. You like it, don't you, Kurosaki?" Kurosaki says, yeah. This is where she kind of stutters that out because she likes it a lot. This is where Choji, he's down there, and of course Choji is, well, instead of wearing an original canon, he's wearing what's it called, well, a kind of white shirt, like a, not white shirt, a red shirt, silver coat, mostly like a silverish coat, and of course that's kind of like gold a little bit also, that he asks Naruto to kind of make it for him, because when he kind of saw Naruto wearing something like that, it's mostly not a coat, it's a jacket, and of course this is where, well, he also has, well, grayish pants, and, well, dark black sandals. Just black sandals. This is where, well, what's it called? This is where Choji does have, well, his hair kind of down. Because, yeah. Of course, this is where, well, he has his headband and all that on his forehead. But, of course, this is where Kazuki kind of saw Choji before going down. And, well, kind of like seeing, well, Choji up in the stairs because, yeah, because Naruto's going first against, well, what's it called? Neji. So, of course, this is where Kazuki says, "Oh, Choji, you seem more different." This is where Choji says, "You think so?" This is where Kazuki says, "Yeah." This is where, well, the black bear, he kind of got him bigger and is more tired and sleepier. And, of course, this is where, well, Choji and Shikamaru says, "What are you doing?" This is where the black bear says, "Trying to fall asleep. I don't really want to deal with this tuning exams, but I guess if I have to, I have to. So I'm just here." This is where, well, everyone is waiting for the match, and this is where Naruto, he's down there kind of waiting. This is where Neji is trying to calm himself down. He's telling himself he gotten stronger. What has Naruto done? Well, he can't really see the aura or anything around Naruto. Not yet. Naruto is kind of suppressing his aura. This is where, well, the proctors, who is named Gemma, kind of says, "Begin." And of course, this is where Neji rushes at speed. That people, well, with slow kind of movement to see with tracking eyes, can think that's fast. But for other people like Shikamaru, Choji, Kurosaki, Samui, Tamari, and other people, it sees that as kind of slow. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto just sees the speed. It looks like Neji is running really fast, but really Naruto's eyes can see that he's walking. That's how slow Neji is compared to Naruto. Naruto says, "Is he running or walking to me?" That's where Neji appears. Well, it's supposed to appear, and some people are saying, "Whoa, Neji's going really fast." Naruto's point of view just sees Neji kind of walk towards him, ducks down and trying to uppercut him. That's where Naruto, he just moves his head back slowly and let the fist kind of just pass him. This is where Naruto did get his hat so his hat wouldn't flow up. And of course, this is where, well, Neji jumps back and says, "You wouldn't surprise, you might have got hit. See, my speed has become so fast. And look at here, I'm stronger. Besides, fate has told me that I will win." This is where, before he can even say he will win, Naruto appears right in front of him, having his leg up in the air, kicking Neji in the head, sending Neji to the wall, and breaking the sound barrier 4 times. This is where Neji smashes the wall through it and goes across a couple more trees. This is where Naruto says, did he say something? This is where the doctor says, he walks to the crater, he sees the fucking, well, landing mark of where Neji kind of went, and he says, "Damn, Neji's gone. Okay, Naruto won. Medics, this is where the medics have to go outside the village to get Neji, because, yeah. Well, outside mostly the stadium. Of course, Neji is right now having all broken arms, legs, and even almost a cracked skull. Like, it's not really a cracked skull. I mean, a fully cracked skull because he almost close to the break of death. Somehow he managed not to die. Listen where Naruto says, that was pathetic. Naruto walks up, and of course everyone is shocked. Of course, this is where the next match happens, and it is Shikamaru versus Temari. Temari gets down and says, I guess I'll have to fight against you. Shikamaru, who is still on the stadium and talking to Kurisuke, and kind of ignoring, Temari. Temari thought that Shikamaru was already down here. She thought she felt a presence. This is where she's looking around. This is where Kurisuke says, aren't you going down there? Shikamaru says, hey Kurisuke, if you lose in your match, does that mean I get to give up on my match? This is where Kurisuke says, no! Wait, no, I'm not gonna lose. And Shikamaru just saying, I'm just saying. This is where Shikamaru is going, well, not towards the railing. He's kind of walking backwards. He's kind of going towards the wall. This is where Kurisuke is saying, Shikamaru, where are you going? That's a fucking wall. Not Naruto. Shikamaru, he walks through the wall into darkness, appearing behind, Temari. Just kind of getting out of Tamari's shadow. This is where Shikamaru says, so we're supposed to fight? This is where Temari widens her eyes and she turns around really fast. Seeing, her, what's it called, green eyes connecting towards, Shikamaru's, Shikamaru's black eyes that actually turn a dark green. This is where Shikamaru says, so we're supposed to be fighting? This is where, Temari blinded her eyes. She did not notice anything. She didn't sense anyone. She didn't see anyone behind her. She knew that Shikamaru was on top of there, but she didn't even sense Shikamaru like being going in a body flicker, appearing right behind her or anything. No movement, no silent, no movement, no appearing behind her with like a teleportation jutsu. No, he just walks through the shadow, up through the shadow of Temari, and just is behind Temari now. This is where Kurisuke says, how the fuck did he do that? This is where Anoki, who's actually at the tuning exam right now watching, he's saying, I see the Naruto boy has actually gotten stronger. I see that he gotten really strong, Harusen Sarutobi. This is where Harusen says, yeah, he has gotten really strong. Of course, the Raikage is there. The Kazekage still are Temari, but yeah. This is where, Harusen says, yeah. I guess you can say that. This is where, Anoki says, and my granddaughter still likes this boy. Him showing more skills makes her more in love with him. This is bad. This is where, he's not really trying to lose his granddaughter, but if the Naruto boy is so strong, then he can't really defeat this, or kind of defeat the crush or whatever with, Kurisuke and the Naruto boy. This is where, Temari says, she jumps back and says, so are we gonna start this, Naruto boy? This is where, Shikamaru says, I guess so. Now, Shikamaru is actually taller than Temari. Temari is like, Temari is 5'1" in the original canon, while Shikamaru is actually, 5'3". He's actually taller than her. This is where Shikamaru says, I guess it can't really be helped. I'm gonna have to fight you anyway. I know if I even ask you the question, you're gonna give up. You're probably gonna say no. This is where Temari says, exactly. Now let's see who's stronger. Me from the Sand Village or you from the Leaf Village? Shikamaru says, whoever I actually wouldn't ever know. I don't know, I can't predict the future. This is where, the proctor says, begin. This is where Temari sends multiple wind slices at Shikamaru. Shikamaru is actually going towards Temari, just walking slowly. Not even like running towards her or even dodging the wind slices. Just walking towards her. And the wind slices are actually passing Shikamaru. He doesn't even need to move. They're just passing by him. This is where one actually goes what's called horizontal. Horizontal, and was about to like hit Shikamaru. until Shikamaru just sees the thing is about to like hit him. And this is where Shikamaru pulls out a kunai really fast and cuts through it. This is where Tamari winding her eyes. This is where Shikamaru just walking towards her like it's nothing. This is where Tamari, she jumps back further and says, fine. Then I'll show you a very powerful technique that you won't be able to dodge. This is where she says, wind style, wind tornado. This is where she, uses her fan to swipe the air, making a giant tornado go straight toward Shikamaru. Shikamaru says, such a drag. This is where he says, arise. This is where something arises behind Shikamaru. This giant creature opened his eyes, showing a dark ring in his eyes, being all covered in this black mist, being made out of darkness. This is where this giant creature just stands, in front of Shikamaru, and just punches the tornado by just smashing through it, like destroying the spell in the tornado. This is where Tamari widened her eyes. This is where the creature just roars. It's like a giant bear, exactly. It looks like a giant bear. And the bear who was actually seeing this, he just like, huh, interesting. It looks just like me. This is where Naruto says, exactly, it is just like you. Because it's just a copy version. Shikamaru probably awoken his abilities more into something else. This is where Kurisuke widened her eyes, seeing that giant bear. Even, what's it called? Horuzen, Anoki, Orochimaru, and even what's it called, the Raikage Eyo, kind of widened her eyes seeing that. This is where, Anoki says, are you sure that boy is actually a Narwa? This is where Horuzen says, I have no fucking clue right now. He probably is. This is where Shikamaru says, attack her right now. This is where, the bear kind of goes straight to attack Tamari. Tamari has to dodge, but this is where the bear dispels. And this is where Tamari says, what the? This is where Shikamaru appears right behind her, having a kunai straight to her neck. This is where Shikamaru says, give up now. This is where Tamari widened her eyes. What Tamari was about to do was actually about to swipe her fan straight to the bear, trying to make another wind tornado. But of course the bear dispelled right in front of her before that punch can actually hit her. And of course Shikamaru's behind her, having a kunai to her neck. Or not having a kunai, a sword made out of darkness to her neck. This is where Tamari widened her eyes, seeing this, person just treat her like nothing but just pretty much just a toy. Yeah, Shikamaru just fucking didn't care. This is where Tamari sees the other Shikamaru, and the other Shikamaru disappears and turns into darkness and just dispels, just melts. This is where, Shikamaru says, you thought that was just me? Wrong. Think of more of it like a mind game. This is where Shikamaru just sighs, and of course this is where Tamari says, this is where she was about to say Proctor because, Shikamaru is right now having a blade towards her neck pretty easily. And Tamari, she's kind of flustered. She never thought of any boy can actually match up to her. And of course, Shikamaru just does it, and just easily. This is where Shikamaru looks at the Proctor, and this is where Shikamaru says, I give up. I have no more chakra. Besides, summoning out that creature made me lose too much chakra. So, Tamari won. This is where Shikamaru just walks away, turns into darkness, and appears right next to Kurisuke. This is where Kurisuke goes and says, Shikamaru! This is where Shikamaru says, yeah, I know. I should have definitely tried to fight her, but even if I went against the next match, I would have lost. This is where Shikamaru just smiles at Kurisuke. Kurisuke blushes a little bit, but this is where she says, no, that wasn't the thing I was going to say. That was amazing. You can summon out things without having a summoning contract? Shikamaru says, creation mostly, but yeah. This is where, Kurisuke says, amazing. I guess we won't be able to have our match. But that doesn't mean if you ever come to the stone, we won't have our match. This is where Shikamaru just smiles. Hey, yeah. This is where Tamari, she is kind of getting this weird feeling after seeing, well, Shikamaru talk to Tamari so casually. This is where she's kind of getting jealous for some reason. Even though Shikamaru easily could have defeated her and could have easily killed her and also be able to win, Shikamaru gave up, didn't kill her, and just pretty much just gave up. This is where Tamari is, well, flustered, but she doesn't know what to do. This is where Samui saw that and saw how Shikamaru could have easily taken out, well, everyone out in the Chunin exams. But Shikamaru decides to give up because of his lazy attitude. This is Moe saw that and he said, he said, that man must have been hiding some stuff. Holy shit. What the fuck? Hell no. Luckily I didn't go against him when we were doing that battle. This is where Killer Bee says, what you mean, Moe? Moe says, oh, we were just playing shogi. Killer Bee says, okay. I see. Wait, did I say Killer Bee was there or was it Yujo? I think I said it was I don't remember. I think I said it was Killer Bee. Well, yeah, Killer Bee says, it's interesting. Well, not Killer Bee, it was Yujo, yeah. Killer Bee says, that's interesting. That boy must be really strong. And he didn't even want to fight. Then again, he is a Naruto, and those Narutos are lazy. This is where Moe says, yeah, I feel like I'm a Naruto. I'm lazy. This is where Karu says, no, you're not lazy, you're just an idiot. This is where Moe says, okay. So Samui just narrow her eyes at, well, Shikamaru. And, well, Tamari's going back up, and of course just looking at Shikamaru and confused. Shikamaru could have gone to the first, well, not the first, the second match. He just given up super easily. He's like, yeah, I'm good. This is where the next match is, what's it called? Kurisuki versus Samui. Samui and Kurisuki starts getting ready to fight. This is where, well, Samui, before even starting the match, saying, so, do you like that boy? This is where Kurisuki says, no. She's right now flustered because she thinks that Samui is talking about Shikamaru. This is where Shikamaru says, you got this, Kurisuki. Of course, he's kind of tired. So, yeah, he's kind of like taking out some sleep off his eyes. But, yeah. This is where, well, Samari says, no. She's right now stuttering. This is where Samari says, oh, really? Then, what about the Kunoichi of the Sand? Do you think she will be trying to take, what's it called? Him, well, mostly, him for herself? This is where, well, Kurisuki says, what are you getting at? Are you trying to also take him away from me? This is where Kurisuki kind of gets angry. This is where somebody says, no, that's not what I mean. This is where the practice says, are you done or are we gonna continue this? This is where Kurisuki says, hurry up and continue. This is where she's fired up and angry. This is where, well, what's it called? Kuzuki is right now just talking to Choji and seeing the match, but of course she's mostly talking to Choji, saying mostly he got any more stronger in the technique of, well, using, well, steel or anything in his fist, but yeah. In the metal techniques, this is where Choji says, it's going to be a surprise. This is where Kuzuki says, no, tell me now. This is where she is kind of saddened because Choji's kind of being a little bit mysterious. This is where she's kind of saying, no, Choji, come on, tell me now. I promise I won't try to tell Kurisuki about it. This is where Choji says, we just have to wait and see. This is where Kuzuki says, why, Choji? Why do you have to be like this? Choji says, because we're in different villages and I'm not trying to let you tell your friend. This is where Kuzuki says, fine, I will have to wait then. This is where both Kurisuki and Samui decide to start fighting. That's where Kurisuki punches the ground, making the ground erupt into, well, multiple, like, herb spikes and all that. This is where, well, mostly just rubble. And this is where, well, Samui jumps away, putting lightning into her legs just to go faster. And this is where she sees what's it called, Kurisuki, kind of just blitzes in front of her. And actually appearing right in front of Kurisuki, trying to kick, well, kind of knee her in the stomach. Kurisuki sees this and then just puts earth, like she punches the ground before even kind of like attacking Samui, puts earth into her like arms and tries to punch at Samui. Samui dodges the attack and had it to actually stop her attack from actually hitting Kurisugi because she wouldn't get hit in the head. This is where she jumps away, still having lightning to her legs, and this is where Samui says, "You're not bad yourself, Stone Ninja." This is where Kurisugi says, "Stupid bitch, you're not bad yourself neither." This is where Samui says, "I gave you a compliment, but I knew you Stone Ninjas would be too hot-headed." This is where, Kurisugi says, "At least I'm not a fucking slimy bitch like you. At least I'm not running away from a battle. Besides, I saw you trying to attack me. Why did you just stop your attack?" This is where Samui says, "Because I wasn't trying to get hit in the head." This is where, Kurisugi and Samui are right now having a battle clashing of will. This is where, blue lightning is appearing Blue lightning is kind of emitting, kind of going from Samui to Kurisugi, and Kurisugi is sending like red flames, not red flames, like red lightning towards Samui, kind of clashing. This is where both of them are kind of getting annoyed about each other. This is where Shikamaru is kind of like looking at this match and seeing how many openings they both have. He can easily think 40 steps ahead from both of their movements. He could easily kind of, see the weakness of both, females. That's where Shikamaru is saying, This is where Naruto kind of walks next to him and saying, "So, which do you think will actually be able to win?" This is where Shikamaru says, "Undecisive. I can't really tell. It can be a tie off where I care. But if I had to pick, I would probably pick Kurisugi. Because even though she's kind of slower than Samui, she has the power and has more defensive jutsus against Samui. Lightning style is usually offense and defense, mostly offense. But Earth style is mostly defense. Catching Samui off guard would probably be her best bet, and then knocking her out with that Earth punch." This is where, Naruto nodded, and this is where Naruto says, "I don't really know. Lightning is pretty good, but if Samui does have a not faster, I would say stronger type of lightning, because maybe that's not her strongest lightning style. What happens if she has a stronger version and way faster than that lightning one that she's using against Kurisugi? Speed might be able to defeat strength. This always was a kind of battle of the ancient times. Who is stronger, strength or speed?" This is where Naruto said. Shikamaru says, "I would say speed, but there's, I don't know." This is where, Tamari is kind of looking at both of the people who are talking, and that is Shikamaru and Naruto, but they're talking at the lowest amount to just talk to each other and not letting other people hear them. This is where, people hasn't still seen Naruto's hair, and why is Naruto covering up his head mostly. This is where, Choji, who is right now talking to Kazuki and kind of watching still the match keeps going on. This is where they start fighting more. This is where Samui says, "I guess I have to show you some of my lightning style." This is where she says, "Lightning stream." She sends a stream of lightning straight to Kurisugi. Kurisugi says, "Earth wall." This is where an earth wall appears, blocking the lightning. And of course, this is where rushing through the earth wall, like bursting through and trying to punch Samui. Samui widened her eyes and had it to dodge mid-air. But this is where she didn't expect the knee from, the right. This is where, she didn't expect the knee from her right and managed to hit her right in the, stomach. This is where Kurisugi, she then grabbed the knee from, the right, and then just decides to kick mid-air with her, left leg at Kurisugi. Kurisugi cannot block it fast enough because that leg had lightning chakra and, of course, made it faster and hits Kurisugi in the face. This is where Kurisugi puts mostly had her earth on her, left hand, and does try to grab, Samui, which she does manage to grab and punches Samui in the face. But Samui decides to coat her right arm with lightning, and of course does grab, right arm, mostly left arm, with lightning, and does grab what's it called Kurisuke from the face, right now shocking her, and of course Samoe getting punched in the face. This is where both of them stumbles back, and of course Kurisuke is right now paralyzed a little bit, but what's it called, Samoe is kind of stunned. Of course they really can't go any further right now. Their attacks were very dangerous. This is where, well, Kurisuke says, I'm not gonna give up here. This is where she then, like, the earth arm that she had kind of just broke, and of course this is where she transformed her arm into steel. This is where, well, she says, I'm gonna defeat you, stupid clout bitch. This is where somebody says, then I guess I can't hold anything back. This is where she turned her left arm into golden lightning, a goldenish color lightning, and of course says, then let's see who's stronger. That's where well, Kurisuke rushes at, well, Samoe, and this is where both attacks clash in the middle. But of course, this is where both of their attacks were actually trying to get through. Of course, this is where Kurisuke then transformed her right arm into steel, and lets go of the steel arm from her what's called left. Of course, the lightning did zap her, but of course, she managed to uppercut Samoe in the freaking what's called chin. This is where Samoe gets lifted up in the air, while Kurisuke does fall down, first face into the ground. But of course, this is where both are passing out. And of course, this is where before what's it called, where Kurisuke can actually fall down fully. This is where Shikamaru appears, kind of first grabbing Kurisuke and then Samoe, and then just kind of laying them both down pretty easily into the ground. This is where Shikamaru says, they are both a tie. See, I told you, Naruto. Naruto says, I guess so. I guess I lost my bet. This is where, well, everyone is kind of confused, but this is where Kurisuke says, Shikamaru. This is where Shikamaru says, just go to sleep, Kurisuke. You're too weak right now. Just take a sleep because, well, sleep is the best medicine out there. Kurisuke says, fuck you. This is where, well, she passes out while someone sees the same thing. Even though she could have, like, fall down behind her back, Shikamaru then grabbed her and, of course, did lay her down. This is where someone says, why did you catch me? This is where Shikamaru says, I would have let you fall down, but, you still put up a good match against what's strength, even though you're only good at speed. So I admire both of you. This is where someone says, passes out also. This is where the project says, okay, tie. This is where Shikamaru does grab both Samoe and Kurisuke by kind of summoning out a shadow, shadow creature to kind of grab Kurisuke like a shadow knight, like a darkness knight. And of course, this is where grabs Kurisuke, and that's where Shikamaru just grabbed Samoe. This is where Shikamaru does bring them towards the infirmary, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, fuck. I thought Kurisuke was gonna win. Well, not Kurisuke, Samoe. Damn, I lost my money. Fuck. Naruto kind of laughed, but yeah. This is where, well, next match, it is Choji Aburame versus, I don't remember who I put. Oh yeah, Choji Aburame. No, yeah. Not Aburame, Akamichi. I don't know why I say Aburame. Akamichi versus Karu, the girl with dark hair, well, not dark hair, dark skin and red hair. This is where, well, she goes down there and gets ready to fight against Choji. This is where Choji, he rushes at, what's it called, Karin with a human bowling ball. And this is where she managed to dodge, but saw the speed of how Choji is. This is where, well, Karu just says, I just have to be faster than him. This could be pretty easily. This is where Choji, he does another human, boulder towards Karin. Karin actually jumped out of the way, but this is where Choji, he gets out of the human boulder and becomes normal, and then, of course, transforms his arm into steel, or mostly silver, trying to punch at Karu. Karu had to block it with her own sword. This is where, Choji says, didn't you say you have to be faster than me? I heard that. This is where Karu says, it seems that you can transform your arm to steel. are you sure you're not from the Stone Village? Choji says, nah, it's just a special gift I actually managed to have. It's where Choji pushes Karu away. This is where Karu kind of just lands on the ground. Now I should mention one thing. Choji doesn't look like that fat. He doesn't look, that chubby like in Dream Canyon. He looks more muscular, a little bit more buffer. This is where Choji says, I just have to, fight you with speed, wouldn't I? This is where she says, yeah, but you're too a little big, and I don't think you'll be able to catch up to me with your speed. This is where Choji says, that's probably so, and so I might have to do something like this. This is where Karu says, what do you mean something like? This is where Choji, he puts both his arms both into, steel, but of course transform them into the bigger, like to expand them. And this is where he smashed both the ground, making a bunch of rubble just explode up in the air. And this is where Karu has to dodge like a bunch of rubble. This is where Choji is kind of jumping into like the giant pieces of rubble and appearing right next to Karu, who's right now, Choji is right now having, chakra towards, one of the rubble pieces that are flying up. Of course, Karu did not see this, and this is where Choji, he transformed his, arm into gold instead of, not even gold. He transforms it into platinum. This is where, this is where Karu sees this. Well, not platinum, mostly gold, I should say. Yeah, gold. And hits Karu. This is where Karu had to block it with her sword. Now, of course, she managed to still block the attack, and her sword didn't crack. This is where Choji, he jumps away from her. And of course, this is where Karu is trying to find Choji, trying to sense where Choji's at, until Choji kind of jumps from more bigger, rock pieces that are right now in the air. And of course, this is where Choji jumps from that rock piece that's right now on top of Karu, and kind of just smashes the rock piece because this giant rock piece was like above Karu. And of course, this is where Choji smashes through, transforms his arm into platinum, and tries to punch at Karu. Karu ceases, and of course, tries to use lightning into her sword to just cut at, Choji. But of course, when the blade clashes with the platinum arm, this is where, Karu's blade does crack, and of course, does break. This is where Karu widens her eyes, but this is where Choji says. This is where Choji does kind of get electricity a little bit, but of course, this is where Choji then says, because there's still some lighting onto his hand, he does expand it up, but of course mostly stretches it up because he found out something that he can actually do. When he expands things, he can usually stretch it out. He can just make it a small arm, or he can make it bigger. He just made it, he just stretches his arm up in the air and says, a lightning punch. He says, lightning thunder. Well, not lightning thunder. No. He says, Zeus punch. This is where his arm does kind of like come back to him because it's already stretched. Think of it like a Gumma Gumma no Mi Red Hawk, but instead of that being in red flames, it's right now having lightning. But of course, it's coming straight towards Choji really fast, kind of going back towards him. Like instead of having a stretch, he's kind of like coming back. And then Choji sends it straight at Karu. This is where the fist does turn into fire, but still has the coating of lightning. But this is where, Karu widened her eyes and was about to get punched. This is where she closed her eyes. But this is where, instead of like the punch actually hitting her, this is where, Choji misses entirely, falls down in the, ground, like he appears underneath, mostly doesn't really hit her in the face yet. It doesn't hit her. Instead, it just poofs away, the clone. It was a clone only. This is where Karu widened her eyes, and this is where Choji just kind of grabs her and bridles her and says, do you give up? This is where Karu widens her eyes and flusters, and this is where she says, yes. This is where Kazuki says, what? Platinum? Gold? Wait, huh? When the hell did... Huh? This is where Shikamaru and even Naruto chuckles, because, fucking Choji really gotten stronger. This is where, Choji says, so you do give up. This is where Karu says, yeah. This is where Choji just put her down, her 2 feet. And this is where Choji does grab the 2, sword kind of split and all, and gives them to, Karu, the 2 pieces. This is where Choji says, sorry about your sword. I feel bad, so I'll give you money if it needs to be repaired, or I'll buy you another one. This is where Karu says, no, thank you. This is where Choji says, I feel bad. Just let me buy anything for you, but it's fine. This is where Karu says, no, it's fine. This is where Choji says, really? Okay. This is where Karu does walk away, and right now it's Fluster. She thought she was about to get really knocked out, but really she didn't even get hurt. Choji's too nice. He wouldn't even attack, what's it called, a girl, unless it's trying to kill him. He's not like Sanji simping. He's just kind of nice. So yeah. This is where, Choji says, this is where I'm going back up. So yeah, he just goes back up. Does feel hungry. Shikamaru does throw him a bag of chips and says, here, you need it though. This is where Choji says, thanks man. Potato chips. Nom. Kazuki rushes up to Choji, jumps on him, and says, wow, you learned gold? You learned gold and fist and even platinum? What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me you learned 2 things? Choji says, oh, well, you never ask. This is where she gets angry at Choji, and Choji is kind of trying to eat his chips peacefully, and is right now getting scared of Kazuki. This is where, Shikamaru and Naruto just chuckles, but yeah. This is where the next match, it is the bear versus, it is a black bear versus Sai. This is where the black bear just jumps off the railing, smashes into the ground, makes a crater, and of course Sai appears with his ink bird. This is where, the match begins, and of course this is where the black bear rushes at, Sai. Sai uses, he creates 2 structures out of ink, and of course the bear just claws through them and rushes straight towards Sai, seeing that Sai is willing to die and be eaten by him. This is where the only thing that the bear sees is food. Nothing else. When he's in the battlefield, he sees you as food. He doesn't see you as, the enemy. He sees you as the food. Which he still sees you somewhat as the enemy, but mostly food. But this is where the bear is rushing straight towards, Sai. And Sai is trying to create ink structures to fight against the bear, but the bear is mostly ripping through them, and of course this is where Sai says, damn it, I do have to use the bird. He uses the bird to kind of fly around. This is where the bear notices, and this is where the bear says, oh no you don't. He kind of goes through hand signs, and this is where everyone says, wait a minute. This is where the bear says, fire style. Not fire, but he says, fire style. Bear of destruction flames. This is where he sends a giant fire attack at Sai. Sai had to dodge it with his bird, but his bird is right now burning. This is where Sai says, damn it. Of course, it dispels with ink, and of course, this is where Sai falls down into the ground. And this is where everyone is winding their eyes because the bear knows fucking fire juices. This is where Sai is kind of on the ground. He's trying to get up, pulls out his tonsil and tries to attack the bear. The bear just chomps on this, tonsil. The bear is going, nom, nom. You will be my food. This is where Sai is going, help! He screams like a little girl, and of course just screaming. This is where he's like, help! This is where everyone is going, trying to bite at Sai. Of course, this is where Sai managed to dodge, and Sai tried to run away, but this is where the bear grabbed him from the legs and just bite him in the legs. This is where the Sai is screaming, he's like, help, help. Gemma says, hey, stop. This is where Naruto says, damn, the bear was about to eat him. So sad. This is where everyone's saying, you wanted him to eat him? Holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is where, Conqueror says, at least it's not me. At least I didn't get bit. At least it's the Leaf Ninja. I don't give a fuck who it is. It's not me. This is where Shino says, yeah, I'm happy it's not me. Luckily I lost. I'm happy. But yeah. This is where Sasuke's match actually appears, and of course Sasuke is now there. This is where Sasuke is seeing the brutal of the bear trying to eat his teammates. Kakashi sees this, and Kakashi thinks that the bear is going wild. So of course Kakashi says, Chidori! This is where Naruto appears, grabs the Chidori, breaks Kakashi's arm, and this is where Naruto says, don't you dare touch my friend. I don't give a fuck if he's eating your damn teammate, student, or anything. This is where Gemma says, oh, okay, he looks at the, what's it called, well, Hokage. The other Hokages are going, and damn, he's brutal. This is where, well, Naruto says, hey bear, I think you should stop. This is where the bear starts trying to munch on Sai's leg. Sai's fucking crying. He's saying, please kill me. This is where Naruto says, oh, kill you? Okay. He grabs a tonto that was broken, transform it with lightning onto it, making like a lightsaber, mostly with lightning. And this is where Naruto says, since you say die, I say okay. You rude humble bastard. Stabs it into Sai's like neck. That's where they say, holy shit. Naruto doesn't give a fuck. He knew Sai was from the root Ambus. It's where Naruto says, let's go bear. This is where the bear nodded, gets up and starts walking towards, well, the upstairs. This is where Sasuke was shocked. He never thought that Naruto would strike one of his teammates down. This is where Sasuke is horrified. This is where Naruto, he goes up and talks to Shikamaru. Shikamaru says, is it really necessary to attack him? Well, the root Ambus will kind of try to attack us after that little incident. That's where Shikamaru says, I don't really care. If I kill them, does it mean that I can go to sleep earlier? Sure. You know, after the evasion. That's where Choji heard it, even Kazuki, and Kazuki said, what do you mean evasion? This is where Shikamaru fills her in and says that an invasion between the sand and stone, well not sand and stone, the sand and sound ninjas will attack the leaf. This is where Kazuki says, then I'll help. This is where she's having her arm, well mostly holding it onto Shikamaru, well not Shikamaru, Choji's arm. So yeah, that's what she was doing. But yeah, that's why she was so close to hearing them. This is where, well, she says, I'll help then. This is where, well, Shikamaru says, what about your Kage? I don't really care what he does. Right now, I will help. This is where Choji says, so nice, Kazuki. Kazuki says, yeah. This is where Naruto says, yeah, so nice. I feel like, why would she be helping us? Shikamaru says, oh, she's in love with Choji. Huh, adorable. This is where the bear goes, roar. Wait, yeah. This is where, well, the next match happens after that one incident, but no one cares. Of course, where it is Sasuke versus Gara. Now, of course, Sasuke does the same thing in original canon. Gara does go insane, but this is where Naruto sent some bloodlust straight towards Gara, that Gara and the Shikaku stop transforming. And just go back to normal. It just faints behind, having their eyes open, and of course, trying to play dead. That's what Shikaku was basically trying to tell Gara to play dead. That's where Naruto, he knew that Shikaku would fucking fall under his power, his bloodlust, because Shikaku is terrified of Naruto's power. That's where, well, Naruto says, well, the sound invasion is about to happen. That's where Orochimaru is about to attack and all that until, well, 12 figures appear out of nowhere. And right now, the rubble, mostly a bunch of dust and stuff appeared. This is where Sasuke and even Gara was blown away. This is where, well, mostly 12 figures with red clouds appeared. That is Deidara, Sasori, Kisame, Itachi, Kakuzu, Hidan, what's it called? Not Black and White Zetsu. Black and White Zetsu is with Obito and somewhere else. Mostly the 6 paths of pain. So, 1 pain, 2 pain, 3 pain, 6 paths. So yeah. And also Conan and Nagato are somewhere else, but yeah. This is where, well, all of them appeared. And of course, this is where, well, the Diva Pab says, Shinrai Tensai. And before he gets to blow everything away, it seems like it doesn't get blown away. The 2 figures that do go blown away are both Gara and even Sasuke. They get smashed to the wall, but this is where the Diva Path is confused. What the? This is where, well, a barrier appears around the Akatsuki members. Kind of in the, what's called, arena. This is where Naruto says, I have to be able to kind of fight. Hey, Shikamaru, you deal with the soldiers that are outside of Konoha. Choji, you also deal with the soldiers outside of Konoha. I deal with these freaking losers that are trying to attack Konoha. And, well, Kazuki, I don't know what you're gonna do, but you can follow Shikamaru or something. Or Choji. This is where she says, Choji! This is where Naruto says, okay. This is where the pair says, what do I do? Attack that gray-haired bastard with glasses that is behind us. Trying to go through hands for Genjutsu right now. Got it. The bear rushes straight to Kabuto, and Kabuto widens his eyes, dodging the attack. He can't even put Genjutsu. He's like, fuck! This is where the bear is trying to rip shreds, what's it called, Kabuto. Kabuto's telling Sound Ninja to try to stop the bear, but the bear is ripping through them like it's nothing. This is where, what's it called? Kabuto then does put blue chakra into his hands and tries to hit the bear, and the bear gets hit and gets affected a little bit, but then has green chakra inside him, mostly nature chakra, and then grabs Kabuto from the neck, crushing him, his neck kind of cracking his neck, and then eating his head. Delicious. A little rotten, but I don't really care. What's it called? The bear says, but yeah. This is where Naruto jumps down into the stadium, grabs both Sasuke and even Gara. This is where Gara gets thrown up, and even Sasuke back to the stadium. This is where Naruto, he's walking towards the Akazis without any shame. He throws his hat off. He then just walks straight towards the 12 members. This is where all of them gets ready. Itachi does activate his eyes. Kisame gets ready by getting Samahara. Deidara and Sasori gets ready by summoning their art, or about to use their art. Kakuzu uses all 5 hearts, and this is where Heian gets his scythe. This is where the Path of Pain gets ready. Because they don't know why this kid is so powerful. Is he the one emitting this barrier? Then they say, then we gotta stop him. This is where Itachi, he puts a Genjutsu over Naruto, but Naruto just, it's like, he just snapped his fingers once and the Genjutsu breaks. This is where Itachi says, Tsukiyomi! This is where all the Akatsuki now attack Naruto. This is where Naruto, he gets trapped into Tsukiyomi and says, damn, I won't be able to break through. I won't let you destroy my village. Or mostly destroy my friends. I don't even know what to say. This is where Itachi says, you are now in this 72-hour Tsukiyomi. This is where Naruto says, oh, shut the fuck up, you damn Uchiha. This is where Naruto says, Dragon God, can I please have your power? And please help me out. This is where something roars in the distance of the Tsukiyomi. Right now, almost like cracking the Tsukiyomi entirely. This is where Itachi widens his eyes. Right now, hurting his eyes also. This is where the Dragon God says, oh, Naruto, now that you want my full power, then I'll guess I'll give it to you. If you become the new Dragon God, are you ready to take the responsibility to becoming the new Dragon God? He roars again, the Tsukiyomi almost cracks again. This is where Naruto says, yes, I will become the new Dragon God. Even though I only have 50%. This is where the Dragon God says, oh, well that's the only percent I get to tell you is what's a lie. Truly, the real percent that you actually have is actually 100. And now that you want to become the Dragon God, then sure, become the new Dragon God. I will give you the rest of the little bit of percent of power that you will need to master later. This is where Naruto nodded. And this is where light, just bright white, yellow, silver glow appears all around Naruto. 4 wings appear from Naruto's back, being a bright white and golden color. Naruto's eyes transform from being rainbowish color, well, being of course a rainbowish color still, but of course having a little bit of gold, silver, and white into the what's called slicked eye. This is where Naruto's face does have scales now, like scales are all growing around. And this is where Naruto has about 2 horns that appear from his head. They are actually gold. Naruto's arms are becoming scaly. This is where something appears on top of Naruto's head. A crown. A goldenish, yellowish, well, silver colored crown. This is where the Dragon God, before kind of like putting all his power into Naruto by kind of becoming like chakra into Naruto, then says 2 things left. Well, not 2 things left. Yeah, 2 things left. 2 sentences mostly. This form that you have is a hybrid between human and dragon. And now you can go become just like me, a dragon god. You will be able to summon anyone to the battlefield. Now good luck there, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto is already transformed into the hybrid form. Naruto just roars once. By roaring, he roars, but of course has his arm like you know how Whitebeard has it before he was about to do an earthquake into the sky and all that? That's what Naruto has. And of course it does have a white bubble that Naruto has in his hand. And Naruto does like smashes the air, cracking the Tsukuyomi, and of course he does roar, saying, "I will destroy you!" Boom! The Tsukuyomi smashes into a million pieces. Itachi's eyes just hurt really bad, and he's like, "Ah!" This is where all of them are confused. This is where Naruto's form is right now glowing. The barrier does increase in power. This is where, well, Naruto's eyes are pulsating more power. So much power. Stronger than the Rinnegan itself. This is where, well, everyone is feeling this immense power. So much power that even the tail beasts are feeling this. Even Kurama, he was like, holy shit. This is where everyone is feeling it. Everyone in the entire galaxy is feeling it. Utsusukis are feeling it. Utsutsuki King has felt the power. Kaguya has felt the power. Tomura has felt the power. Mostly Tomura, whatever his goddamn name, the guy with the Sensekai. Everyone is feeling this power just emitting from Naruto's, well, what's it called? Hyper form. That's where Naruto saying, "Bring it then, I will crush you all." This is where, well, we go into Shikamaru and Choji. This is where Kazuki is running straight towards to see the sound and what's it called, the sound invasion about to happen. This is where Shikamaru says, "Damn, I do have enough chakra, but would I be able to defeat them? No, I can't." This is where Choji says, "Expansion? What's it called? Platinum Punch!" This is where his fist does, like, what's it called? Just extended, but of course expanded at the same time, becoming platinum and punching at the army. This is where he sends that punch and destroying a bunch of the army. This is where Kusuki is also transforming her legs into silver color because Choji the trainer in there. And of course legs and fists, and of course knocking out multiple what's called ninjas, left, right, down, up, down, right there. This is where Shikamaru sees the army. He's thinking that Choji won't be having enough strength to go against his army. And of course, why did he listen to Naruto? He knew that Naruto was more powerful than him. This is where, well, he doesn't know if he will be able to, like, defeat this army. Choji and, what's it called, Kazuki almost got hurt. Mostly Kazuki, and Shikamaru was pissed. He got annoyed. Because one of the soldiers didn't manage to cut Kazuki in the, what's it called, chest. This is where Shikamaru was thinking of, well, mostly Kazuki, Tomari, and even other people. He doesn't know why. But this is where, well, he kind of saw Choji get angry. Of course, this is where Choji did kind of block an attack from hitting Kazuki like an arrow. And of course, Shikamaru got angry. He's like, "No, Choji, would I be having enough strength? I need to summon an army. But the only max army I can use is 25 soldiers. I wouldn't be having enough." Until an explosion power happens at the village. This is where, well, this golden light strikes Shikamaru in the heart. This is where it also hits Choji. And also another golden light hits the bear. This is where Shikamaru feels his power just rising from the max of how much power he's getting. But this golden light that hits Shikamaru in the heart transforms into being, well, dark, just becomes black, but also has this greenish color. Just go into Shikamaru. Now Shikamaru's kind of chest does become back into healing. This is where Shikamaru's eyes, instead of having the white, just become black. And of course his eyes become a dark green. This is where Shikamaru's power increases so much. And the thing he says is, "Arise." This is where so many, darkness creatures appear from the ground. Because Shikamaru was on top of a tree right now and seeing the army kind of get closer. And of course, so many creatures appear from the ground. So many darkness creation that, Shikamaru is thinking. And this is where something appears behind Shikamaru. A darkness dragon helping, Shikamaru. That was actually summoned by Naruto. This is where, when Choji got hit, his power increases. This is where, well, Choji transformed, what's called light beam transformed into diamond, going inside of Choji. This is where Choji, he then says, I won't give up. This is where Choji, it becomes diamond, but also had a lightish glow into it, and of course it goes into Choji. Of course, Choji gets angry. He's still in blinding rage, and of course, this is where the arrow does just bounces off of Choji, like he just gets out and breaks. But this is where Choji, he transformed his whole body into diamond, nothing but diamond. But this is where Choji expand himself to the max height. This is where, he didn't expand himself. He kind of just expand himself, and then kind of like activated his what's called clan head jutsu, or not the clan head jutsu. What's the clan forbidden jutsu or whatever it's called? That allows him to have butterfly wings, and instead of just being a bluish color of butterfly wings, it's actually sending like crystal colors. This is where Choji expanded his arm because he was already of a big size, and of course send a massive, just terrifying amount of power punch, and just smashes through the army, ripping it almost into half, just crushing and killing so many people. This is where they're saying, what kind of monsters are these? Where's the Shikaku? This is where all of them are kind of getting terrified. But this is where, they did see the darkness strike, but they do see the army in front of them. Multiple darkness soldiers are rushing towards them, either holding like small, what's called like great swords, or holding really big ass swords, or holding what's called katanas. They're just rushing towards the army. The army is trying to send jutsus at the darkness soldiers, but when it hits the darkness soldiers, it just goes through them and just keeps just sending mayhem into the army. Now the darkness soldier, what it looks like what's called Sanjin Wu, that has the soldiers that are kind of like black and purple, but instead of being black and purple, it's black and dark green. This is where Shikamaru has like armor around him too. Okay, it looked like this. It looks like this. This is what Shikamaru would have looked like. He has like what's it called, instead of being purple, it's kind of dark green, and his eyes are glowing with green power. Mostly, yeah. Now, of course, that's how Shikamaru looks like, and is walking towards the army, and actually just like speed blitzing them a lot. Speed blitzing a bunch of army. Now, of course, this is where, Choji did leave Kazuki in the care of the Shadow Soldiers that are right now healing her. This is where she's actually waking up a little bit. And so she sees like soldiers and doesn't remember about Shikamaru's shoulders. But this is where she kind of gets up trying to help OL, Shikamaru and Choji. But then she sees Choji kind of being this big, big like monster and all that. This huge like person. It kind of looks like, how should I say? It looks like Luffy's Gama Gama no Mi, when he kind of transforms into Gear 5 and does extend himself to being big. But of course, if you haven't seen it, I won't show you a picture. I don't know. Too lazy to go and go find it. But yeah, it looks like he kind of become big, and then he shrunk back into his normal size, but of course had still the wings of the wings of butterfly. But of course, this is where he does transform his whole body into diamond and smash down into a bunch of people. It looks like, what is that one commander from the Whitebeard, where he can transform his whole body into diamond when he was fighting against that one Emerald? I don't remember, but yeah, it looks like that, what Choji's doing. Now, of course, the army is kind of having to fall back because there's no way in hell they can actually defeat this. And of course, this is where Leaf Ninjas and also Stone and the Cloud Ninjas were actually helping what's called, the other side of, the army. But Choji, not the other side of Choji and Shikamaru's fight. Mostly the fight that Shikamaru and Choji were fighting were mostly this large, more army. The other sides of the village were kind of smaller armies, but of course the Stone, the Cloud, and even Leaf Ninjas were attacking the different shinobis from the other sides. But yeah, of course they did see the two giant figures that are right now fighting against that other side. They would have went to it, but they got scared. And it looked like Choji and Shikamaru fighting. So of course, this is where Shikaku and Choji's father does go to see what it's all about. And even, father does go. Of course, they see the army right now getting defeated by Shikamaru's army. And Choji's power and transforming his body to diamond. This is where Shikaku says, I can never be so much more proud than my son. He has a fucking army. This is where, Choji's father says, and I can never be too much proud of my son. Look at him. He's already transforming his body into diamond and able to use the butterfly forbidden jutsu technique. I can't believe I'm so much proud. This is where Ino's father is kind of saying, and I can never be more disappointed than my daughter not being able to train just like your two sons. Son of a bitch. This is where they kind of laugh at him, saying, yeah, your daughter's right now being a fangirl to the Uchiha, who right now is kind of almost dead. If it wasn't for Naruto going against the Akashis, or whatever the hell they call themselves. So, of course, this is where, well, we go into the bear. And the bear is right now ripping in shreds of sand ninjas who are right now near the village. Right now, he did get hit by that light beam. And of course, his fur became, well, black. One side black, the other side white. He looked like a polar bear mixed with a black bear. Of course, this is where, well, one of his eyes were blue and the other side was now what's called gold. And of course, he is right now roaring. He decides to use nature chakra now. And of course, when he hits the ground, he can actually use wood style. And of course, cutting through multiple ninjas, multiple sound and sand ninjas. Of course, is where, well, Naruto is right now fighting against the Akashi. So we're going to Naruto. Naruto is right now fighting against Kisame, Deidara, Katsu, Hiran, everyone. This is where the Demon Path says, universal pull. Tries to pull Naruto in, but Naruto's not even pull. Instead, Naruto grabs Sasuke and throws him into, well, the Demon Path. The Demon Path realized that he can only pull other members, but can't pull Naruto. It looks like Naruto is unaffected by gravity pull. Like gravity push or gravity pull. He's confused. This is where he sends a massive amount of gravity onto Naruto, and Naruto's not even affected by it. He's walking perfectly fine. When he's fighting against Samahara, well, mostly Kisame and Samahara, when Samahara hits him like right in the arm, it doesn't absorb any chakra. Instead, Naruto grabs Samahara and rips him apart like it's nothing. This is where Naruto speed blitz Kisame. His whole entire body, when Naruto was behind Kisame, exploded into nothing but blood. This is where Naruto sees Deidara saying, Kai! Boom! This is where Naruto's not affected. Instead, Naruto says, oh, you want to play that explosion game? Naruto makes an explosion ball in, well, thin air and throws it at Deidara and says, explode. Boom! Deidara gets exploded into a million pieces. This is where Sasuke says, damn, can we really defeat this guy? This is where, well, Obito is right now widening his eyes. He's seeing the whole progress of the Akashi get one-shotted by this one kid. He's saying, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? But this is where, well, after what's called the Black Bear kind of defeating a bunch of members of like Sound and Sand Ninjas, he sees the Akashi, the two leftover Akashi members. He sees Black and White Zetsu and even what's called Obito. Now Obito wasn't in Kama Weed until the Black Bear appears right next to him, right now grabbing Obito. And of course, this is where Obito widened his eyes. The bear. He realized he forgot about the bear entirely. This is where he thinks that he can't get out because he can't use Kama Weed because he would Kama Weed the bear with him. This is where he's saying, damn it, he has my arm. I need to cut it off. This is where the bear grabs the other arm and just bear hugs him. This is where the bear is right now crushing Obito's like bones. This is where Obito's trying to get out of, well, the bear's grasp. The bear grasp. This is where Black and White Zetsu cannot let Obito die. So of course what he does is say, what's called wood style, wood vine attack. This is where like two wood styles try to pierce at the bear. It hits the bear, but it breaks. And this is where Black and White is widening their eyes and they say, wait, what? This is where the bear says, bear hug! Explodes Obito's whole entire body. This is where Obito's eyes gets popped out of his eye socket, but this is where the bear crushes it and says, ah, plant. I don't like plant. Burn plant. This is where he sends a giant blast of fire from his mouth. This is where the plant, well, mostly Black and White Zetsu sends wood out because, well, that was the only thing they can do. But the wood gets burnt and actually attacked them and burned them alive. This is where they're screaming and they can't do anything. They're saying, Mom! And then they die. So yeah, they're screaming for Kage's help. But there's no way Kage is going to get out. This is where Naruto is going through the Akashis. He already took down Kisame. Itachi's down for the count. He can't use his eyes again. This is where he already has went fully blind. His Sharingan is unable to be activated. This is where Itachi's saying, damn it, I need to get out of here. I need to help the village. Damn it. Wait, the Akashi village. Akashi. This is where Naruto appears right in front of Itachi, cracked his neck, just fully breaks it. This is where Naruto goes straight towards, well, the Diva Path. This is where the Diva Path realized that, well, Nagato realized that he summoned out the King of Hell to bring back the Akashi. This is where Naruto sees the King of Hell appear, and this is where Naruto sends a light attack so fast, like, he transformed his body into light and appear right so fast into the King of Hell. And yes, light is fast as light, so yeah, it's the speed of light. So Naruto's basically the speed of light when he transforms his body. And of course, this is where Naruto, he pulls out his sword from behind. I should have mentioned, he still has the thorn of the sword and all that, and cuts the King of Hell into a million tiny bits and making it dispel. This is where Naruto sees the other Diva Path, well, mostly not Diva Path, the other Path of Pain, and cuts him into a million pieces when he just speed blitzed him. He did not want him to come back. This is where, well, the Diva Path says, damn it! I can't. I have to fight him because I don't have any of the other paths no more longer. This is where, well, Sasuke uses all his puppets to fight against Naruto, but Naruto speed blitz Sasuke by transforming his sword into fire and lightning and just cuts them all into a million pieces. Just so fast. This is where Naruto sees, well, what's it called? Kakuzu and Hidan. Kakuzu sends so many attacks, like multiple elements attacks at Naruto, but Naruto sends more elements than just 5 elements. Every single element at Kakuzu, blasting straight through Kakuzu and hitting all the hearts and obliterating them. Of course, the barrier did not break or shatter. Instead, they were still, still active. But yeah, this is where Hidan tries to attack Naruto, but Naruto grabs Kakuzu, sees Kakuzu is immortal, so he takes Kakuzu immortal away, immortality, because he's basically a dragon god, and then stabs Kakuzu in the heart, killing him easily and ripping him apart. This is where Naruto fully killed all of the Akashis, except for the Diva Path. This is where, well, Itachi, Sasuke, and all the others are gone. This is where the Diva Path says, Shandrai Tensei! He sends a massive amount of, what's it called, like almighty push at, well, Naruto. Naruto doesn't get pushed back. Instead, he says, you want planetary devastation? This is where he tries to do it, and something hits the planetary devastation, the little ball, and explodes it. This is where the Diva Path says, I won't die. I'm a god! He tries to punch at Naruto. When his fist connects with Naruto's face, it just cracks into a million pieces, mostly his hand. This is where he widens his eyes. Naruto grabs him on the head and says, I'll show you the true power of a god, because I'm a dragon god. Crushes the Diva Path's face. And of course, this is where Naruto already senses where Nagato and Konan are at. So of course, the barrier is let down, and he goes straight to Konan and Nagato. This is where Nagato widened his eyes, seeing that his past pains are gone. The Akashis are gone. He doesn't know where Madara or Black and White Sister are gone to. He says, this was a failure. We should have counted against the Nine-Tailed Jerky. How did we fail? This is where, well, Konan says, we have to leave Nagato. Yeah, we do. Nagato tries to get out of the machine so he can let Konan fly him. Until this is where someone bursts through the tree. The tree is right now lit into golden and silver flames. This is where, well, not golden flames, mostly golden flames and silver wind. This is where Naruto appears with his 4 wings and saying, I'm going to murder you into a million fucking pieces. You pathetic excuse for a god. This is where Nagato says, Konan, you have to leave. This is where Naruto ripped off, well, what's it called, Nagato's arm before Nagato can even say Shandrai Tensei. And of course takes out Nagato's eyes and crushes him. And of course kills Nagato's, like, basically cutting Nagato's head off. This is where Konan screams, but this is where both, what's it called, not from Silver Flames, mostly golden and silver wind appears next to Konan and ripping her shreds and burning her alive. Konan could not react fast enough. This is where Naruto says, now, for that petal snake. Or wait. Oh shit, I forgot. Orochimaru wasn't dead. I would say he's not dead because he managed to come back when the Sound 4 did combine the spirit of Orochimaru. So yeah. And not what's it called? Kabuto came back to life same way. I must say. I just realized I forgot they did die in the tuning exam. Yeah, they did come back. So of course, this is where Orochimaru is attacking the three Kages, Onoki, Ayo, and even what's it called, Hiruzen. This is where Naruto sees the barrier. The barrier is right now having the reanimations of the Sound Four, but this is where Naruto breaks through the barrier, and of course sees Orochimaru and just says Soul Ripper. That's what Naruto said. Soul Ripper. He puts on his blade, this darkness kind of death chakra, stabs Orochimaru, and Orochimaru widens his eyes. There are so many souls appear, so many fragment souls appear into Orochimaru, putting his soul back together, but ripping it out and sending it straight to the Shinigami. This is where, the Edo Tensei just disappear, and Naruto says, pathetic. This is where the army is right now getting destroyed, the Sound and Sand, because of, not Naruto's power, mostly the bear, Shikamaru, Choji's power. This is where we go into a time skip of 5 days. Naruto, with Choji and Shikamaru, they were all awarded to be high-ranking Jonins. Shikamaru's power of summoning out more soldiers than normal, he summoned out about 5,000 soldiers, and he is way too strong. He's considered to be high-ranking Jonin. This is where Choji is able to stretch his body pretty far to being more stronger than an Akamichi, was able to also use diamond release. Mostly not diamond release, but coating his fist and body into different types of metal, and even diamond. Even though that's not what's called metal. But of course he's able to do that. So he's considered to be high-ranking Jonin. Naruto, for being a dragon god, defeating the Akashi's and defeating a bunch of people, he is just considered to be also a high Jonin. Instead of being called high Jonin, he's called God Jonin, because he's actually fucking godly rank. So of course this is where, Hiruzen does put them at that rank, and of course this is where Inoki and Raikage does alliance himself with the Leaf Village, because they ain't trying to fight against the Leaf Village, because if Naruto has that much power and he's a god Jonin, while Shikamaru and Choji are also god Jonin, but they're high ranking Jonins right now. They are trying to fight. Of course, Inoki does ask for a marriage with the Narwa, because that's what Kurisuke wants. The Raikage says also a marriage, but with someone within the Narwa. And, also a marriage between the Sand Village, for apologize because, Tamari did become the Kage. Well, not Tamari, mostly it was Gara, because he is not trying to fight against, Naruto. And Naruto did threaten him and Shikaku if they tried to fight him. This is where they say, nah, we're good. But yeah. This is where, they are all kind of having a marriage with what's called. Mostly the three villages having a marriage with the Narwa. And Naruto doesn't want it because he doesn't give a fuck about females. So yeah. Because he's already a dragon god and he can live longer than everyone else. So yeah, he doesn't want to have any relationships with anyone. He'd rather have friends because yeah. Of course, where, we go into a time skip of Naruto, becoming 17. Of course, sensing this kind of chakra far away and appearing. This is where Naruto did find, Kaguya's kind of chakra in the moon and tomorrow chakra. Of course, he kind of destroys both of them and made them kind of shut the fuck up if they really want to fight him. Because, yeah, he's already strong enough. But, of course, Naruto sends a great amount of chakra signatures coming towards planet Earth when he was 17. This is where the Uzutsuki King and his Uzutsuki followers, mostly all of the Uzutsuki race, appears fighting against Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji. This is where, Naruto rips through the Uzutsuki King, destroying it instantly. Shikamaru sending his shadow soldiers and his elite soldiers to rip through them pretty easily. And Choji, who's able to turn his body into diamond and kind of look like that of the fifth gear of, he kind of can transform that into the fifth gear of, the Gama Gama no Mi. But yeah. Of course, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji managed to defeat all of the Uzutsukis, just ripping through them so easily. So, of course, we go into a 10-year time skip. Naruto is now 27. Shikamaru and Choji, well, they had kids with, what's it called? Shikamaru had kids with, what's it called? Kurosuke, Samui, and Tamari. Well, what's it called? Choji had kids with, Kuzuki and, well, Karu. But yeah. Of course, Sasuke was actually put into death row because he wanted to leave the village, and he did try to attack Naruto, but of course, Naruto killed him. Also, Naruto did kill, well, Momoshiki, Kimishiki, Urashiki when the Utsusuke tried to attack. Also, Naruto did find Ishiki and what's it called, the other members of Karama or something, whatever the hell they're called. But yeah, and easily destroy them. Naruto is now living in space. While Shikamaru and what's it called, Choji are living back on Earth, Naruto is now the Dragon God and supposed to protect, well, the galaxy. Well, make galaxy be balanced. Because he is way too strong. He can easily destroy anything. So that's why he left planet Earth. To continue the, well, the same, the same balance as the old Dragon God. But, with that, this is the end of this what if. So, if you like it, yeah. If you didn't, I don't give a fuck. If you like it, I guess like and subscribe. I don't give a fuck. Other than that, this is the end of this what if. This is part 7. Yeah, part 7. I did not forget. Okay. But yeah, part 7. Now I have to leave and I have to go do something. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. But yeah, that is all for this what if. It's the end. Now have a good night. I'm going to sleep now. Bye bye.